I love coffee. I don't know what I would do without it. I have to start every day with at least 1 or 2 cups, and usually 3 is my limit for the day. But so, hey, welcome to the channel. Today, I kicked off my first day of marathon training for Boston. I'm pretty excited about it, although today was a little bit anticlimactic because I'm using an intermediate marathon training program, and it has me begin by doing cross training. So I'm not out running today. I'll do that tomorrow. Tomorrow will be an easy run. I'll talk about that here in just a second. But today I started out by doing, and I'm going to put in air quotes, yoga to begin with. So if you follow me on Strava, you're going to see yoga. What that is all of the mobility stuff that I'm doing now. Some of the things were developed by Netic Health. Now, Netic Health is an online physical therapy group that you can check out. They're not paying me to make the video or to talk about them at all, but I just want to let you guys know of some of the resources that I'm using to help me hopefully get to Boston and be successful. I'm confident that it will, and I'm really excited about the changes that I'm making for this training block over what I've done in previous marathon training programs. So I started out doing some mobility. Again, that's air quoted into yoga, and that's what you're going to see on Strava. And that also incorporates all of the foam rolling that I do. So I spend the first probably 15 minutes, so not a ton of time, but enough time to be able to foam roll basically from my ankles, do my calves and around my shins and my quads and my hamstring area, glutes, all that kind of good stuff. So that's how I start my mobility stuff. And then I roll right into the things that Netic Health had pointed out for me and shared with me. They developed a mobility exercise program for me to do to help address some of the weaknesses that I have in that area. And I've also interwoven that with some of the other things I was doing as well. And that's going really well. I think that that's going to be, definitely going to be a major part of my whole marathon training experience this time around. But they also put together some strength training. So that was the second piece for today. So again, a little bit anticlimactic if you're like me, at least in years past. I've done the mobility stuff, and I've done some strength training, but I haven't put as much emphasis on that because the real joy for me is to be out running. But what I'm definitely doing this time around is to find joy in the other pieces that all come together to make me hopefully a stronger runner down the road. And I like to think of it now as kind of this three-legged milk stool, and I want to make sure that every leg is solid and secure to be able to hold me up. And that would be my mobility, my strength training, and then my running. So each one is equally important. And so with the strength training, I did exercise set C. So they put together 3 different ones for me, A, B, and C, each one targeting different areas. And so far so good, but I can tell you that I've got some work to do there because number one, I'm not as strong as I thought I was. And number 2, I'm probably not as coordinated as I thought I was. And thirdly, I'm not as flexible as I thought that I was. So there's a lot of things I need to work on. And that became crystal clear to me when I was trying to do some of the exercises they had designed for me to do. And I'll just share with you. One of them is doing these cross V-ups, where you're basically doing some setups where your legs are coming up and you're crossing over, touching your toes. And I kind of felt like I was a turtle on my back, just kind of floundering around, not really quite getting it, but hopefully by the end of this four-month training program, or 16 weeks, which is going to go really fast, I should be stronger and better able to do some of those exercises. I've already found that with some of the things that they've asked me to do, it was pretty awkward at first. But the more that I do them, the better that I get. And that's something I really want to talk about today too. Along with just a couple other things, some gear related stuff, 2xU tights that I have on right now, and Balega, some of their gear, and John G and that kind of stuff. But one of the things I wanted to talk about and share with you is my emphasis is not necessarily quantity, it's quality. Practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. And that's really resonated with me over the years. And I think that that's true too when it comes to pretty much everything in life. And so I'm applying that to the mobility exercise that they're asking me to do, the strength training that they're asking me to do. So at first it's taken me longer to get through them because I'm really going back and I'm watching the videos that they shared with me that demonstrate how to do the exercises. And I'm stopping, making sure that to the best of my ability, I'm doing them correctly so that I'm addressing the areas that they want me to address. So that's a big focus for me, and I'm going to carry that focus over into tomorrow's run, my very first run for the training block, which is going to be an easy run. I'm super excited about it. I'm going to go out and do some trail running, so it's going to be an easy run, but I'm going to put that in air quotes too, because trail running is not necessarily easy, and especially where I'm going to be running at tomorrow, because part of what I want to do is to regain my local legend status on one of the areas that Strava has identified. So I've held it in the past, I've lost that, so I'm going to go out and I'm going to spend a little time running the island. So if you're the one that holds the local legend status out at Sleepy Hollow State Park for running the island, I'm coming for you. So anyway, so that's going to be tomorrow's run. It's going to be a Janji run, so I'm going to be wearing the Mercury pants tomorrow, but I'm also going to be wearing Janji partnered with Balega in developing some socks. This is kind of a fun thing to do. I love Balega Socks, if you're not familiar with them, for a lot of reasons, but mainly they're just a really quality sock. And you can see this. Yep, I just dropped the socks. Hold on. All right, I'm back. So you can see on these socks here, they have a sticker, and that's actually got a person's face on it. That's the person who did the quality inspection of these socks. So they're done by hand, by a person, to make sure that what we're getting is high quality and it's going to last us. So I've always appreciated that about Balega. I think they do a really good job, and I found their socks to be really comfortable and breathable, highly cushioned, especially on the bottom. They're a little lighter on the top, so you're going to get some airflow, but I think these are going to be a good choice. These are quarter socks. I probably should have gone with more of a crew sock when I purchased these, because I was looking around and all of my merino wool crew socks that I had wore last winter, they all have holes in them, so I'm not going to be using those. So I'm going to be using these. And, it's the partnership, like I said, that Janji has with Balega, which is just kind of their special design. Up around the cuff or collar of the sock here, it just says "Run Everywhere," which if you've been on their website, you know that that's their logo or their mantra, as it were. So tomorrow's going to be a bit of a, like I said, a Janji run day. I will probably have on, depending on the temperature, some tights underneath of some sort. I won't be wearing the tights that I have on now, which, as I mentioned, are like these 2xU compression tights. I really like these for working out, doing high impact types of things, which I was doing some of that. I was doing some skater jumps today, things like that. And because I've had some issues, especially with my hamstring and things like that, it just holds all your muscles tight into place. These aren't ones that I would run in. I have tried to run in these, but they're too tight. There's too much compression there, because your legs begin to swell a bit. And I felt it was just a little bit too restrictive. But for the kinds of things that I was doing today, doing the strength training, the mobility stuff, these 2xU are perfect for that. And they have these what they call muscle containment systems on them. So they're specifically designed to hold all of your major muscle groups into place. Your calves, your quads work pretty well for recovering. They feel really good on my hamstring, which has been bothering me a little bit recently. And then for shoes, I was just wearing the New Balance 880s. These are actually last year's shoes, the V11s. They're got a pretty solid feel to them when I'm moving around. So as a cross trainer shoe, I think they hold up pretty well. So they make a good running shoe. They're a workhorse of a run shoe. There's tons and tons of rubber on the bottom, so I like that because it helps to keep me from slipping around, especially, like I said, doing skater jumps, things like that. But they're a pretty comfortable shoe that I found to be pretty versatile for doing some cross training. So that's what I was wearing today. So tomorrow, though, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm probably going to be wearing one of the Hoka trail shoes. I haven't really decided yet whether it's going to be the Tecton X or the Speedgoat 5. Right now I'm leaning a little bit towards the Speedgoat 5 because it's just an easy run day for me. So I just want to be comfortable, and I'm getting close to having 100 miles on those if I don't already off the check. But as soon as I notice that I'm over that 100-mile mark, I'm going to bring you a bit of a follow-up shoe review, because I did promise to do that a long time ago, but because I've been training for the Detroit Marathon and doing a lot of track work is what I did in the late summer, early fall. I put a lot of miles on them initially, and then I had to put them on my shelf for a while. Tomorrow, going to be a trail run, and plan to run probably the island as much as I possibly can. It's only 45 minutes, I think, to an hour for that initial easy run effort, and I'll be running in the Hoka Speedgoat 5. So I'm excited to kick off this new training block. I hope you guys stick around with me. Hey, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it for you. As always, run tall, run strong, be kind to one another. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. right here in Rental with Tim.